Welcome to the Bridge of Two podcast. All right, let's get this started. Now, Jeremiah just got up.
Already started without me? My goodness. Okay, I'm back.
All right.
Welcome.
Thank you. 3 welcomes because we have
A third.
3 hosts.
Whoa.
What's up?
Oh, that's only 2. What's up?
Shout out to Ju in the house.
Finally, we could shout him out with him
For
here.
real.
In the real life, yep. What's up? Again.
How do we didn't actually listen to it, but everyone's ears will have been greeted by your original your original song right before this moment. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's really nice. I love listening to y'all's podcast and hearing that's the first thing. I'm just like, yes.
Thanks again for letting us
It
use
sounds super. It's like not. It wasn't even the intention when I wrote the song, but it actually fits so well.
It fits
like,
really well.
like way too well.
It sets the mood really well too. I love the energy. So, and I love the way of Shinobi.
Gotta love the way you shoot everybody.
So,
Welcome back
yeah, welcome back, you listening. Thank you for coming back.
to the Bridge of Two podcast.
Yeah. Should we call it Bridge of 3 today? What we got?
Bridge 2.5. No.
Oh,
Wow. So you're the half, right?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, Josh. So, yeah, the Joshes will actually
Oh my gosh, you're right.
have to team up. Josh is thicker than blood.
Should we just call me Jiwoo for this? This is another guy.
It's true.
2 Joshes and a germ.
So, Juwoo, what have you been up to?
We're gonna make him
fantasy
start this
week?
time.
Sci-fi fantasy is big.
Games,
Video
books,
games,
shows,
anything.
comics.
I've been playing Dark Souls Remastered, actually. That's like
Okay.
the Steam Winter Sale came on. I saw it for $20 and super hyped for Elden Ring.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what? Let me just play through all the Dark Souls again, just while I'm
Nice.
waiting on it. And that's where I've been with gaming. And
So what you're saying is you want to get really angry and destroy a couple controllers.
I don't get that angry at it. I don't know. It's a frustrating game, no doubt, but
Yeah.
I
I enjoy that. And then the sense when you actually do beat it is that gameplay loop was like just super satisfying to me. So like, yeah, you get frustrated, but
That game basically launched a genre. Like now they describe games are described as
Souls-like.
Souls-like.
mm-hmm.
It's pretty crazy.
The story for it too, and like the world building that's in it, it's done in such a weird way because it's not like a normal like story telling. But I watched it like after actually watching a few videos on it, like it's got really cool like mythology and story to it.
Oh yeah, they're
Same with
all tied
Bloodborne.
in.
Bloodborne is super cool. Like I listened to like a whole like 2-hour video on it one day when I was trolling or doing something, not doing what I was supposed to be doing probably. And it was like, I was like, wow, this is way better than I remember it or thought it was. I never got that in depth when I played because it was like I'm playing it for the gameplay and there is some cool stuff to it, but I never got super into the story. So that's what made me start replaying Bloodborne was watching that video actually. And I was like, okay, I want to get into this again.
I think that's one of the biggest appeals about those games to me is crazy enough. I was always the one that would skip the main stories and I just go straight to the multiplayer or like Final Fantasy 14. I just skip all those cutscenes. I barely watched a single cutscene. I get the story and I've read it, watched it through YouTube, but I've just like to play a game. And I think that's what I like about Dark Souls is you just go in and you play the game and then you're just kind of taught the story through the items and everything, but there's no actual storytelling necessarily.
Right.
Like,
well, it's almost now that you say that, that's a really good point because it's like when you're playing a game, there's this like organic storytelling that's happening that you're a part of, but then when you have cutscenes, it's almost like that's another type of storytelling, and so it's almost breaks the immersion a little bit to have because you're like, okay, now I have to watch what they want to tell me the story is, whereas it sounds like Dark Souls, which I haven't beaten, but I played the first one, so I have a little bit of knowledge about the way it works. But yeah, it sounds like it's kind of a very organic way of experiencing story.
And you kind of put the pieces together yourself, and then afterwards you go and watch the YouTube videos, and you're like, whoa,
like flesh it out more.
Yep.
I forgot that you were the one that like even with Call of Duty, like you skipped straight to the multiplayer.
Yeah, it was just never a story.
I was always the opposite. I always played the single player first, and like I've always been into single player story driven games. That's why I like the Final Fantasies. Like I plan on going through Final Fantasy 12 again here pretty soon, or like I was telling you earlier, I got Icewind Dale on the iPad, which is like that one apparently deals a little more with gameplay, but it's got a story, and I want to play it for the story because that's just how I am. I mean, you've talked about it. I just like stories. I like storytelling. Not to say I don't like gameplay, which is why I like Dark Souls, but the being able to go and look at the item descriptions and get this story through it too. And I agree, it is cool because you get a nice mix of both worlds where it's straight into gameplay, but also you get some cool lore.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else we know? I know we've been playing New World here.
Yeah. I kind of jumped off that train probably the past 2 weeks, maybe. I think the last time we played was like 2 weeks. I think that might have been the last time.
That's right. We played Gunfire Reborn last time we played.
Yeah.
What do you think?
New World?
Yeah.
Fun game. One of the best grinds I've done in a while. Like that, I actually enjoyed grinding it out, but just all the duplication and everything going on, and the end game. End game's just a little broken, it seems, and I like just barely touched the surface of end game. But I have a bunch of friends that are in it that were telling me how it is. I'm like, I don't even want to put my time into this. I'm gonna wait for something different, or wait for them to fix it.
Yeah, they'll fix it. I have a feeling they're gonna. Fix it.
They're gonna keep it. Right now, I'm kind of I'm good on going to a war with against a team full of Voidbend armor that.
Like the best armor.
Yeah, like the best armor in the game.
Not everyone shouldn't have it, but everyone does have it.
Yeah, it's just annoying. We're all playing, not duping.
It's funny how the struggle within the struggle of gaming, of the developers and people trying to figure out where the exploits and
there's always an exploit. It just always
happens.
But it just sucks when that exploit is
right
significant enough to make gameplay like no longer fun for other people.
Yeah.
And specifically for like PvP games, like
especially when it's very
PvP driven, it's just like, well, now you've exploited the game where you're just constantly stronger than everybody else, and that's just kind of annoying.
That's not even fun.
It's not even really fun for other people. You're just kind of being a meh.
And that was one thing I didn't like, or I feel like they could work on, is I get the open PvP and you turn PvP on and you just anyone can fight you, but it sucks when you're a level 10 and there's just 3 level 60s roll up on you and smack you at one and boom, you're dead.
That is why I'm glad they can at least turn it off.
Yeah, so it's funny you can turn it off, but I would have enjoyed even just a five levels up and down cap where you can only fight people that are 5 levels above or below you. That way it's a little bit more fair.
I think that's...
So a level 60 can't run up on you and destroy you, but there is still that, you can go and have fair, balanced games.
I think that's
also, they need an arena.
Well, they also need... what I want is more PvE stuff. Because when I play MMOs, I'm very big into PvE, not much of the PvP. Although when stuff with New World gets fixed, I'll probably get into it. Because I do like the combat in that game.
The PvE is pretty cool. The expeditions are pretty cool. I see where it could... There's improvements that could be made, but also it's fun. Especially with friends, it's one of the more fun dungeon crawlings I've had, with my buddies.
When it gets better, Josh, you need to get in and play with us.
I will when it's perfect.
So 30 years down the road when the game's ending.
Old world.
We're all in our 60s.
I'll probably still be gaming.
It's time.
Josh will finally just text us, be like, guys, it's time. We'll know exactly what you're talking about.
We'll all get Steam notifications, and I just bought the game for everybody.
The max level cap is 200 now. And
yeah.
How about the Star Wars we were telling me with the update being delayed?
Oh, yeah. Did I tell you about that yet?
The...
SWTOR? The expansion got delayed until February. It was supposed to come out the 14th.
That stinks.
It stinks, but me and Josh were talking about this. Julu, we're talking about this.
Shout out to Julu.
It's good because they're at least it's going to be a good, they're making sure it's going to be a good expansion. They're not just releasing it early.
Oh yeah.
But it also looks because I was excited for a lot of things that they're going to bring in, not just a new story, but new gameplay mechanics and how the classes work. But I think we should all still get it and play it together. Now, get the free version.
Play at this point, we don't have to wait a week now for the update. We can just go ahead and make new characters.
And play it. So
will you guys make new characters still?
Absolutely. I have a couple of higher level characters.
No, we should try and make a little group. Try and get the lore. Make our own little role play.
Make a guild and get other people in it.
What do y'all want to do? Y'all want to do Sith or Jedi? What side?
I'll just follow y'all's lead, and then I'll make a character that kind of fits in with... If we go Sith, then I'll probably be like not a good Sith in the sense that I'll be more like
You'd
a
be
Kylo Ren kind of Sith.
side.
Okay, yeah.
Like pull to the light kind of Sith.
That's what I usually do.
You also
Okay.
don't need to be like Sith either. They have
Jedi.
like if you're going to the Empire side, they have the
Yeah, I should
bounty
say
hunter.
Empire Republic. Which,
Yeah, they have the bounty hunter and the Imperial agent, which like we wouldn't be able to play together on the first planet, but that's like an hour or two. Yeah, I'm excited to play that.
Yeah.
I would think that'd be fun. I've always played it. I've played it off and on for years now. I mean, even back in North Carolina, when we lived in North Carolina. But I haven't played with anybody. Like I mean, I've joined guilds here and there. I've played a little bit with them, but not like I have not enough to like get.
That's
invested.
what I need. Like if I have I have my games that I play by myself that I've been playing, and that's just what I do. Like Dark Souls and Battle Right, things like that. But like if we're gonna play Star Wars, like I'll really get into it if we have a group of people playing it that are getting on pretty consistently.
We can probably get Caleb into it and play it too, since it's free to play.
I mean,
I bet you he would play it with us.
shout out to Caleb.
Just shout out everybody.
Just shout out.
Just shout out. Shout out to Josh. Jew.
No, I don't get one. I'm not worthy. That'd be cool. Yeah.
Writing more music. Writing more music.
Yeah, honestly, that's just about all I do right now. I go to work and I'm either gaming or I make music, which it kind of switches. Some days I'm doing like way more music, and then I'll play like an hour or two of games, and then other days I come home and it's like an hour or two music, and I'm like, I can't do this. I'm frustrating myself. Let me just play some video games. But yeah, I feel like I'm getting better. I think people tell me I'm getting better, and then I listen to it and I'm like, but I'm just grinding out. I want to be able to put out like I know I put out somewhat quality music enough,
absolutely.
but I want to really like. I want people to be wowed, to be like, wow, this is really good. Like he's really put in the work. So I want to be able to get to that point. I don't need to get famous. I don't need to be booked for all these shows. I just want to be able to be like, hey, I made this, and then people be like, wow, this is actually like really good, dude. Like good job. Like.
Well,
if you like the intro,
keep it up, man.
Yeah, if you like the intro to this, go check them out. Juwu on SoundCloud.
Yep.
Juwu on Instagram too, right?
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
So it's all just Juwu. Do you still have Juwu on Facebook?
Yeah. I don't have the personal Facebook or social media anymore, but I have social media for all.
So just Juwu on pretty much everything.
Juwu official.
Juwu official.
Juwu official for pretty much anywhere to find me.
There you go. Check him out. Check out his other stuff. He better be releasing some new stuff.
Probably the end of this month. I have a couple.
I still listen to all your new stuff when it comes out. So
thank you. I appreciate that.
Josh Prime, what have you been doing?
shout out to Juwu.
What have you been up to? What worlds have you been getting into?
So
the real world.
I mentioned to you guys I started playing a new game the other day, like this week. I forget
The
what
dragon
it's
game, right?
Yeah, I need to find out what it's called. It's gonna bug me. It's on Steam. It's free to play. It's only been out for a little less than a year. Elden Ring. It's gonna have dragons, apparently.
Elden Ring. Let's talk about Elden Ring while Josh looks this up.
Yeah.
Talk about Elden Ring.
Can't wait for Elden Ring. That's all I can say about that, really.
Yeah, the gameplay looks so fun, dude.
Open world Dark Souls. It actually looks like
it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
They were kind of getting there with Dark Souls 3, I'll admit.
Dark Souls 3, like, looks like this is going to be the honed in, just best version of everything.
They finally hit
combined.
their point with, The
potential magnum opus here.
I think it's definitely got the possibility.
That's it. You nailed it.
It's definitely got the possibility.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And if their PvP is good, I love the Souls, the PvP community.
That is the one PvP that I really like is Dark Souls. Is their PvP
and I like
how
the
it
arenas.
works.
People will like it's like a people do it themselves, and there's kind of like enforced like what's the like not rules but
honor.
Unspoken rules like that you can run. Of course, you're gonna go into the worlds people aren't playing that way, and you just have to fight, but. When you get into those worlds where the people like have set up an arena and there's like 3 people waiting for you to be fought in order, and like that's just so much fun.
Right, because like if you don't abide by that, like everyone will just destroy you.
Exactly. Anyway, did you find out the name?
It's called Century: Age of Ashes.
Century Age of Ashes.
So it's a game that is pretty, simple. Definitely seems like they.
Oh yeah, that's definitely the game we're.
Was that what you were watching?
Oh yeah.
Is it fun?
I think it's fun.
I'll go download
I enjoy it. I've definitely enjoyed it. I tried playing it. I play with a mouse and keyboard. I feel like I can do a lot more.
Usually,
like the maneuverability is way better because then Ellie my daughter wanted to watch me play it, so then I'm playing it with a Steam controller out on the TV, and I'm just like, oh, I can't do anything. I'm so bad. But yeah, it's like you have you have like 3 base classes, right? And that they've got their own thing to them, and you can play between them. Like you can choose them at the beginning of the match. You choose your class, but you can basically play as whatever class you prefer, but you can switch around.
It's kind of like a dogfight,
it's like a dogfight,
almost like a Star Wars. Their spaceship dogfight matches, right?
Yeah, in a sense, yeah.
That's what it looked like when we were talking.
You got different types. You got the 3 versus 3 is like the what you unlock at the beginning, then 6 versus 6 different 6 versus 6 game types. Like there's like a capture the flag type one, which is really cool and fast paced because to grab the flag and then you have to fly through all. Did you see it?
Yeah, we saw.
Fly through all the like checkpoints. People are trying to just absolutely destroy you the whole time.
It's free to play.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to try. I'm gonna have to pick this up when I get my computer back.
Free to play. That's at the very least an hour of serotonin.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys pick it up, we should.
We should, yeah, definitely.
Because I read some of the reviews I read were like people were complaining because a lot of people. I guess there's a lot of people that get on Discord and are like coordinating and like three people.
How does the most multiplayer games?
Yeah, and so if you're just like playing solo, then they said they didn't have, but I still had a lot of fun with the time I've had with it. I don't feel as much pressure to
perform,
just dominate. Yeah. Just to feel like I'm
the best way to play those games.
Contributing somehow, to the team, whatever the team's doing.
Well, you're having fun. I mean, that's
right. As long as I'm having fun.
Screw it.
Forget the team.
Yeah.
To an extent. That's why I play single player games.
That's why you
GG easy.
Sweet. How I don't know how did NaNoWriMo go?
It went good-ish.
Good-ish. That's not what I like to hear. The book is supposed to be done. I need to read it.
I know. So I, like I said, I don't remember how much I said on the podcast, but you know what NaNoWriMo is? Jiwoo? Shout out to Jiwoo.
Were you telling me about
Yes, it's like
National Novel
50,000, I think.
50,000 words in a month.
Okay.
So it's National Novel Writing Month, so NaNoWriMo is short for that. And then people try to write 50,000 words of a new novel in a month. I've done it twice, and this year I was pretty far along in the revisions of the book I'm working on, which I started last NaNoWriMo. And so I was like, I'm not gonna start a new book right now. But I knew that I was getting to the point where in my revisions where I needed to add new words. So I was like, I'll set a 25,000 word, goal for myself. And I was a little more relaxed than I was in years past. I mean, like if you do it, you have to do, unless you have just days where you write like 4,000 or 5,000 words, and then nothing the rest of the week. You have to do it like 1,600 words a day.
Yeah,
so
it's a lot of writing.
That's a lot of writing. Yeah.
And that's brand new stuff and everything. So that's hard. But it's really satisfying when you hit that mark and you're like, wow, I actually did that. That's crazy. But so this year I was able to be a little more relaxed because of smaller limit and
I actually got to see you last month.
Yeah.
Last year we barely saw him.
I did not hit 25,000 words. Like the last, came to a point where I was like spending time where I didn't need new words. Where I was like, okay, this is good. It's more just minor stuff. Yeah, I was like minor editing stuff, and that took some of my time from writing new words. So I ended up getting like close to 20,000 words.
That's still good for like a revision process.
Yeah. So I added like how many chapters? Like 4 or 5 chapters.
How long would you say the book is? Out of curiosity, do you know?
A lot longer now. So it's over 100,000 words. It's probably it's probably like maybe 120,000 now. probably I may it may get to 150,000 before I'm done, because I'm like in the last third of it now, which is not, I want to be a lot farther, but anyway, I'm just kind of
after NaNoWriMo. How do you feel about your going to the point where you're gonna be able to let people read it for revision or for proofreading it?
It's getting closer. It's definitely a lot closer, because there was just a lot of holes and stuff and things that, you know, I was figuring out about, because whenever you do NaNoWriMo, you don't really know what you're doing, like creating, you know, it kind of like, as you're creating it, you kind of find it, and then you have to, you kind of figure out what it is, but you can't go back. You can't stop and start changing things. Otherwise you'll lose all your momentum. So you have to just be like making changes on the fly to characters and plot points and stuff. So there was a lot of cleaning up that needed to be done from the, you know, first draft. And so this NaNoWriMo, before NaNoWriMo started this year, I was already working on it, and then this NaNoWriMo definitely helped it get a lot more cohesive, and like, you know, it's not just individual chapters, but the story flowing through the chapters a lot better. And
sweet.
It's you know, it's definitely encouraging, you know, to see the progress and to see stuff checked off the list and everything.
Sweet. Anything else you've been up to?
Started the Bookenders game.
Oh, that's right.
Pretty good ways into that. I haven't listened to it much recently. It's really good. Easy read.
Very easy to read.
The audiobook I'm listening to is really good. Oh, I did play a good bit the last couple days of that Lord of the Rings mobile game.
Is it good?
War. You know,
I played like 2 hours of it and was like, all right.
I feel like
if that
I'm into it right now, but I feel like I'm, you know, with those kind of games, you like have this time at the beginning of the game where you have like all this momentum because everything's coming really easy
and it's all new and stuff. Yeah.
And because they're setting you up, and it's kind of like this long tutorial of how to play it, sort of.
Yeah.
And then you get to a point where people are actually trying to like destroy your city and stuff, and I just am not. I don't like that, and I know that's coming. I know that's coming, and when it does, it will. The game will be deleted off my phone.
Fair enough. I played it for like an hour, and I was like, "This just seems like a lot." And
it is a lot.
I deleted it.
As you keep kind of like going around, you kind of figure it out a little more. And it's a little more fun. I have Boromir and Faramir and Haldir. A lot of ears.
I mean, it's just Lord of the Rings got a lot of ears in it.
Yeah.
Pointy ears, round ears.
As my commanders, so it's fun.
Nice.
That's pretty much it.
Sweet. No,
you go ahead.
I refuse.
Yeah, what you been doing?
The usual. Finishing up school. Last week of school. Final Friday. So I was just telling the Joshes that there's gonna be a lot. I'm gonna just gorge myself on sci-fi fantasy stuff in the 6 weeks I have off. Just different books and games I can finally play right. I'm not worried about studying. I'm gonna lose all of my knowledge that I've learned in the past year.
I just imagine like walking into your house, and like you're just like laying on the couch, and you've got like 4 books open and like 3 TVs of like shows and like a video game console on one of them, and just like drool coming out. Yeah.
Energy like, drinks everywhere.
Jeremiah, what happened?
Not gonna lie.
We're gonna clean you up. We're gonna get you better.
I have literally had a podcast in my ears, a game on my iPad, a game on the PlayStation, and then looking at something on the Switch at one point. And not playing all at once, like but I was just
basically what I just said.
Yes, basically. Not that bad. It's only done that once. But so I'm excited for that. You know, hopefully nice. I pass. If I don't, I'm gonna look back on this podcast and be very sad. Started book 5 of Wheel of Time. I finished Dune.
Spoiler warning for Dune.
The book.
This is in front of the spoiler.
There you go. First off, I finished Dune.
Yeah.
The book. Really good. Kind of weird at the end.
Is it as good as the movie?
Yes.
It's better than the movie?
Yeah, I'd say it's better than the movie. It expands on more things. There's more that's going on with Paul in the book that is not hit on as well in the movie. I think they'll hit on it more in the second part.
Did you see Dune?
I did see it, yeah.
What do you think?
I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Nice.
But yeah, there's a lot more that happens internally with Paul.
Right.
And his mother that like Just they don't hit on as much in the first movie, and I think because a lot of it's internal, it'd be kind of hard to hit on the movie. But near that last like quarter is very like exhilarating, like a lot going on, and like it all happens very quickly. But it gets kind of weird to the extent like very religious kind of an extent. Like he starts his whole like religion almost on Arrakis.
Good for him.
And is like part of it is about him. He does it to try and stop a jihad that he has a vision of them literally running train across the galaxy, killing everything. And he's doing it to stop that. And I think he's
probably doing the thing that he's causing the thing.
If I remember correctly, at the end he's like, I accept it. We're just I was just like, jeez.
He drank his own Kool-Aid, maybe.
I don't remember. I might have like I said, I kind of blasted the last like 200 pages, so I might have heard that last bit a little wrong. A good book though. I mean, if you like reading and you liked the Dude movie, I would recommend it. It is slow. The first half is slow, kind of like the movie. It's a lot of build up, but once you literally where the movie ends is where like everything just starts kicking up.
That's exciting.
Like a lot of stuff starts happening, because that's about the halfway point in the book too. Like right at that.
Things usually kick up when jihad starts.
Pretty much. So it's cool. It's definitely cool. Like I said, it just gets a little whack. Well, Paul gets whack at some parts because he's like seeing into the future, and he's like, there's like literally like a full chapter of him like struggling with the fact that like he's seen into the future, but it also feels like the past to him because he's already seen it. And like it's just like a weird way of dealing with that. It was really cool. And it has to do with the spice as well on the planet and all that. But he's a freaking tactical genius.
Right.
It's kind of funny reading it though, and then remember back like, oh yeah, he's like 14, 15.
That's
yeah, he's like really young. Cool book though, definitely would recommend. Finished it, liked it, started Wheel of Time book 5. I think it's Fires from Heaven or something like that.
How far into it are you?
Oh man, I managed to get like 70 pages into it already because of I've only read one day and it was at class and I was in between doing a test.
You're in it. 70 pages. You're in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Did you kind of like catch yourself back up on it?
I listened to a couple of videos that did reviews of each book or summaries of each book. Which helped me remember a lot of things that happened, and that kind of the 20 minutes of each book, that someone doing like a summary of it helped kick back what happened. So I understand. I remember what's going on now.
Nice.
Not that like the first like chapter I've read had nothing to do with anything that's gone on so far. It's completely new characters. And I'm like, oh gosh.
Yeah. I was actually listening to Brandon Sanderson and Dan Wells. Their latest podcast. For those listening, Brandon Sanderson finished the Wheel of Time series because Robert Jordan passed away, and his wife like recruited him to finish the series. But so he was talking about the show, and he was talking about how there's 14 books, right?
I think it's 13 or 14. I think it's 14. And
he wrote the last 3, and he was talking about the shit like he said it's like the books are like there's like 4 phases or something like that. There's like the first 3 are basically, he said, like the classic like quest fantasy. You know, like you're trying to get something, like something, it's like chasing after something or whatever. And then the 4th one, actually this is the 5th one.
I'm on the 5th one.
I heard the 4th, he said the 4th one is like a lot of people's favorite.
It was really good.
It's like
it was really good.
He said it's like more political intrigue is where he starts to take the series. And then books, I think he said 5 through 10. He's like, I'm not in Robert Jordan. I wasn't in Robert Jordan's brain, but it's kind of like he got maybe a little tired of the main characters, and so he decided to like come up with new characters and new stuff for them to like.
And that's what I always hear, like talking to Caleb. He's like, you just literally like, there's a full book where you will not see the main character, like one of the main characters. There's a couple main characters. Like he's like, you'll read a book and not see like a few of them through the entire book. You just don't see it. You no clue what's going on with them, and it's just like, oh gosh, I'm not ready. I heard that like starting at book like 6 or 7, it becomes a slog. Is what they call it for like the next 3 books. But they say if you can get through that,
well, it's like you can get through these bad books.
They're not, but that's the thing is they're not. From what I hear is they're not bad. They're just slogs.
Well, it's just because you're invested in these other characters,
and you're kind of seeing
like,
other
what is
characters.
happening? Which I mean, I haven't.
But
read much
if
of
you
the
can get
series,
past that, apparently like the end, like such like is like really good. And obviously Brandon Sanderson is like a very fast paced writer,
right?
So his books are very
fast paced. And I think from what I gather is the end of the series kind of makes those books. People appreciate those books more because of the way things that happen in there play into the end, and it all ties up and stuff like that. So.
What's really neat about the Wheel of Time stuff too is, from what I hear about from most people who like Wheel of Time, like no one is really. I don't hear many complaints about how Brandon Sanderson finished it. Like a lot of times, they give an art
like those.
Yeah, a lot of people like a lot of times if like another author finishes a book.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, oh, they just changed everything, wasn't the same. I don't hear that with The Wheel of Time because a completely different author finished the last three, 4 books. Brandon Sanderson, who is probably my favorite author, I think Josh's favorite author, Josh Prime's favorite author at this point.
Shout out to you.
Now I'm confused.
We gotta do a Jiwoo counter.
Ding! But he's the one who finished it. And so, it's exciting.
Brandon, but he's the GOAT.
What was this? The Book of Time? Is that
Wheel of Time?
Wheel of Time.
The TV show is the new TV show that came out.
I keep hearing about it. Y'all talking about it.
The book is like the first book. I actually started the first book back when I was in EMT school, doing the clinicals in the back of the ambulance, and it was boring, so I just got it and read it. Started reading it. Very quintessential epic fantasy. Very fun. Characters are super likable. And then it kind of got me into it. It's just, and this is the thing about the series. It is a 14-book series. And the books, this is book 5.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
They're not small books.
They are not small books. But they're super cool. The world building is really interesting, and it's everything like that. But that's why, like I said, I started book 1 back in EMT school, and this is book 5. Like, I've paced myself out.
I might. You got the other ones?
I don't have the first book, but you can usually find it somewhere for free.
Yeah, I probably just Google it on my laptop.
I found way back when I started it, which I still haven't finished it, the first book. The on YouTube there was like an audio. The audiobook was on YouTube. The Eye of the World.
Full audiobook.
I got an 8-hour drive.
Just a fair warning. This says full audiobook part 1 of 3, and it's 11 hours long.
I might just read it.
It'd be quicker probably to read it than the audiobook.
Yeah, it is. 11 hours, 6 hours apparently for the first book.
I was gonna say I'm only driving 8 hours, so I won't even make it through the first video. Maybe I'll just do that to start it, then I'll actually read the rest
see if
of
you kind of get hooked.
It's fun. It's what's really cool about this, and I was talking to Dad about this, I think, or I was talking to someone about this. What's really cool about the Eye of the World or Wheel of Time, so far from what I've read, is it's a fantasy, epic fantasy, but it's got very good horror in it. It's got like a very horror-esque theme in a lot of parts. You see it a little bit in the show. That's why I was talking about you about, because I said the show is doing a pretty good job with bringing out that horror aspect.
Yeah, I don't know if I even call it horror,
or suspense,
but
like thriller.
Well,
no, it's definitely some.
It's just
I would say,
very, frightening, unsettling.
Unsettling is probably
unsettling kind of stuff in it. It just in terms of, not so much like graphic descriptions or anything like that kind of unsettling, but more of just like, just descriptions of these creatures that are
just certain things that are happening
in between,
just creepy
realms and stuff. Yeah, just creepy stuff. Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, not much else. I'm reading a little bit of Brandon Sanderson's comic book, the Dark One, but it's cool. I like the artwork in it. I'm going slow with it just because I'm trying to take hints from the way the art's done to kind of give myself some tips and stuff like that. So I'm like really focusing on the panels.
Nice.
But the story seems like it's gonna be interesting. Other than that, not much else. Be on the lookout for some possible artwork for hashtag Jiwoo.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Jiwoo.
You're gonna do artwork for him?
Yeah, we've been
talking about
nice.
some concepts to do for his music and me.
That'd be cool.
Doing.
Because I've always wanted it, or maybe not necessarily Jiwoo, but I've always had the idea of making a music project that tells a story.
Oh.
I just don't do art. Like I mean, I don't do the drawing. Like
right.
my art is music. He somehow got the drawing or got the music. So I'm like, what if we like told a story?
What if it became one person.
I wonder what Jenna's gonna get.
Both of them. She dances.
She does
dance.
She's good at music.
I'm pretty good at dancing. I could do the Macarena
right now.
We're gonna video and post it on our Instagram.
Dance off.
We're gonna get TikTok.
But yeah, so be on the lookout for that.
That'd be really fun. I think that could be really cool, especially if we're like working on a story that we're only telling through the music and the pictures and no words.
Mm-hmm.
But like still like pushing and like a character and like him going through like I think that'd be
just like the feeling of the story through the music and stuff. That'd be cool.
It'll be a really good project to try to like. There's an artist. He's actually a video game designer or concept artist for like he did stuff for Dragon Age and stuff like that. I can't remember his name. Matt something. Very very famous guy, but he actually did an entire like you can find it 100 panel 200 panel thing of he literally did an entire story, no words, just through the artwork, just through drawing. And it tells a cohesive story, and it's super cool. I've read half of it. It's actually like looked through half of it. It's really cool. And that was it was like his thing of like I want to do this. I want to be able to tell a story without having to say words, just through the artwork. And it's like that'd be a cool little thing to do. Try to do it with adding music to it as well. So there's music aspect to it, but also being able to tell a story. And so that's
so much you can do with that too. Like if someone collabs with me, like you can like kind of take them and put them into the story and make them a little character too, and then like you know, it would just be that one collab and, you know, that artwork, but then that, like, brings him into the story or her or whoever.
And we'll have our own mythology.
Yeah, I mean, dude.
it sounds like such a fun time.
And then it's just something fun that we can talk about. Like, that no one even really, like, a bunch of people wouldn't even really know necessarily all these little intricacies, but we do. So it puts a...
The Jewuverse.
Yeah. I always, like, honestly, when it started, I was thinking of doing, like, the Book of Juwu, and that was going to be the project, was, like, it's the Book of Juwu, and like it tells a story. I just don't know. I've just been kind of putting out music now, just randomly, and there was not really. But I want to hone myself into where I'm like,
cool to do that.
All right, that
would be fun.
Even if it's not Juwu, when we make a new project, I mean, but Juwu works. It's
Juwu,
already there.
Juwu is already a cool name. I've already got a cool concept for what I want to do. I've already got some ideas. So Josh has helped me out with what he's kind of looking at.
Because your vision, like I told you what my vision was, and you. I mean, you just show me the little concept art you made. You like already, you were on the same wavelength as me. Like, and then you're the one that brought up turning it into a story. I was like, that was already what I was thinking, bro. Like, so yeah, it was.
So yeah, let's be on the lookout for that.
Give us a year.
yeah, definitely be on the lookout for that. And
December 8th, 2022. You heard it here first.
Oh man, now it's cemented.
Yeah, crap. 2 hours 15 followers.
Hey, I got the music. I'll make the music. give me some drawings. That's all we need.
I'm really really trying to invest myself in the drawing so I can start doing some other side projects while I'm at work. So
I think it'd be fun.
Other than that, though, that's about it. So what do you say we take a little break, come back, drink some? I think we have some meads again. Josh hasn't had any of the mead we've had, so we decided to
let him pick one, and then we'll have some, and then we'll talk Kingdom Hearts.
Yes,
you've been waiting patiently.
We bring it up a lot.
Hear about Kingdom Hearts more. And we're going to give it to you. We're going to give you what you want.
I like it.
You guys have been yelling and screaming at us in our emails.
Begging us, and begging us. And all the many messages. Anyway. But I digress.
See you in a minute. Maybe.
All right.
Or a second.
Or a year. December 8th, 2022. See you then. Welcome back.
Howdy.
We've cornered Juwu. And we've convinced him to read all our favorite books. So we used our time well.
Yeah, we did just spend like 10 minutes explaining why he needs to read Stormlight Archive.
Like stepping on him, like, you gotta read this. Anyway.
And he's gonna read it, so
yeah, it worked.
Because it's a good book. And
I trust you guys' opinion on it.
Well, we have pretty similar tastes when it comes to that stuff. Yeah. So, I mean, we both loved Pendragon, and you know, we enjoy the same books. So
it's almost like we're brothers or something.
Yeah, it's like you're related. Similar upbringings.
Somewhat.
Well, yeah, so we have some drinks. We have some mead from our friends at Groenfell Meadery in Vermont. Shout out to Groenfell, if anyone that knows about them listens.
Yeah, those gals over there make some good mead.
Yeah, this is women owned.
And they make some good freaking mead. Josh and I both had ours. Josh Prime, sorry. Juwu's first time, so we did the mead. So we'll see how he likes it. I've got the OG, the first one, the Buckland Mead.
Yeah, you've got the ones like green tea and honey. Yours is like sour cherry.
Sour cherry mead, yeah.
Havoc mead.
And mine's the Gandalf one.
Wayfair.
Oaked amber mead.
All right.
Yeah, so let's crack them. Oh, watch your ears. Sorry for your ears.
Hey, at least these will explode over your computer.
Oh my word.
That's really good.
Right, dude?
That's not what I was expecting, actually.
Right?
Yeah.
It's good.
Honestly, the fact that I said sour cherry, I just like my head immediately went to a sour kind of beer, and I was like,
it's not even that sour, really.
No, not at all.
You want to try this one?
Yeah, let me try it. Yeah, that was the other option. Yeah,
They're good, right?
it almost tastes like
Similar.
LaCroix. How do you
Yeah.
say that? You know what I'm talking about? Like the
Yeah,
water?
it's a subtle flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then beer.
I like them. Yeah.
I actually I think I might have to order some for Christmas for myself.
Actually, I'm gonna get me a cup.
Go for it.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this. Definitely enjoying this.
More fans.
Yeah, go if you want some mead, go check them out. Woman independent owned.
There you go.
Where do you
Seriously.
get this? Or...
Online.
Oh, you got it.
Grunfeld
Yeah, you can order it
Grunfeld
online.
Meadery is what their thing is. They have a lot of different flavors. We've tried 6 or 7 at this point. Or 5. We've tried quite a bit.
I think 6 maybe.
Yeah, we've tried 6.
Do you buy them like by the 6-pack or?
They come in 4-packs. They're like about $15 or something, maybe a little less.
It's not bad.
The only thing that stinks is shipping is a little. I don't know if shipping might be a little bit better to where you're at because it's not as far. But it's just the weight. They're so heavy. But if you really liked it, and you can get like what I did was a 6-pack of 4-packs, 6 4-packs, and then that's free shipping. So that's what we did, and then we tried them all on the podcast.
They were good, yeah.
So yeah,
Could be a good Christmas present. I'm thinking about like.
there you go.
For
They're
real.
all really interesting too.
They all taste different, but they all there's not a single one that I drank I was like I don't like it.
As the ground thaws and snows melts.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
That's so cool.
Right?
I read that on
And-
the first episode.
They come in pints.
Buckland Mead springs forth.
I love that.
They come in pints.
I'm getting one.
I'm getting one.
I'm getting one.
There you go.
But yes, now we're gonna talk a little bit about the good old Kingdom Hearts,
Yep.
a game near and dear to I think all of our hearts.
All of our hearts.
So I think that's when we all first met. When I met you recently. When I met Josh, I think that was like
It's like meeting you again every time you come down. So
honestly. But I think that was one of the first things we kind of bonded over, right? Was like, oh, you like Kingdom Hearts 2, cool, and then that was like, okay, you're good people.
Yeah, right. You get life.
that is actually a judge at work. There's a couple coworkers that I was like, oh, you like Kingdom Hearts? You must be a good guy.
Yeah. You had a good life.
My partner made a Kingdom Hearts reference, and I understood it, and I like made a reference back to him, and he was like, I am so excited that you got that reference.
So, yeah. So Kingdom Hearts. How do you describe Kingdom Hearts? I mean, a game.
How would the outsider describe it? We'll start there.
Well, I mean, it's like a.
I mean, do you want a literal description of it? It's a
mashup.
Final Fantasy and Disney.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
Disney.
it's a mashup of two kind of franchises.
Two things you would not think would go together at all.
Yeah, so take all the Disney like movies, not all of them, but
Like Tarzan,
a lot of them,
Aladdin,
a lot of the
all that.
classic ones. Yeah, Aladdin, Tarzan, Aladdin.
Yeah, mix in some Final Fantasy spiky haired boys.
Yeah.
And then one really good boy, and you got yourself Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. I think a lot of people they look at and they're like people that have never played it and they're like, oh, you like that kid game, and it's like
That's the thing,
because they see Disney and they're
Right.
like, oh, this is a little kid's game, but really that's nowhere near what it is.
It's like
Which it is though. Like it can be.
Yeah.
Like kids can play. I think the
True.
story of it is maybe a little bit too complex, even for my brain.
Well, that's
right
I
now.
think that's the kind of genius of it. It's it's the accessibility because the story, like you depending on what your life experience is, where you are in life, like your experience will be different of it, but you can still enjoy it because like you go to the Disney worlds and you're fighting bad guys and you're with Aladdin
going
and
through
the
the shit.
genie.
They're going through Disney stories.
Right, but then on the deeper level, you've got what the main characters are dealing with of kind of being thrown out of their comfort zone, being separated, trying to find each other. It's corrupt. I mean, like straight up, Riku is like probably the most complex character probably in the whole thing. I think.
Yeah.
Just his dealing with his own internal darkness and always like having to
Except that maybe the darkness doesn't make him a bad person. Like,
Right.
but it takes him a while to figure that
Kind
out.
of make peace with his struggle with it.
Yeah.
And for like you've got Sora, who he just wants to get both of his friends back, and he's able to kind of like that friendship. That's what's something that's so like central to Kingdom Hearts is the friendship between.
That makes the game so wholesome. It is literally just about friendship.
Yeah.
Kingdom. I mean, like Sora is who he is and has the power he has because of friendship. Like that's literally what it comes down to.
Yeah.
It's such a wholesome, overarching thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like it helps all the characters involved. You know, you got like Riku's struggle. Sora never for 1 second like is shaken in his like loyalty to Riku throughout like the whole thing. But
Sora is he literally is just a good boy. Like,
and that's the crazy thing about it is that really Sora is not. He's like the main character, quote unquote, but actually he's not.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I've always loved about. Like he's the one you play as, but like he's like almost a byproduct of everything that was happening around him. He was like at the right place, the wrong time to get the key, or right place, right time. Yeah, to get the Keyblade, and like he's not even technically the main character. I say Riku's more of the main character in the overarching. We just don't play as Riku.
Well, it's even
game.
even like he just like so slight spoilers, but like Sora fails the Mark of Mastery and Riku doesn't. Riku becomes a Keyblade master. Sora doesn't. You know, like it Sora. I just he
is an important part of the story.
That's what else I like about it though. It's just like the character you play as is always usually the main character that you're playing as tends to have that video game logic of like they just always are gonna win.
Yeah, and
it's one of those things where like you're still playing as Sora, like even after that and he fails it, like you still Sora is a character you play as, but you also have that thing of like, well, he still failed, like he didn't make the Mark of Mastery, and that's what's so cool about that game too. Is it's just that's what's cool about it, is you're not playing as like the main character. Like you're right. I mean, there's more going on than just Sora.
There's so much more.
Now the first game for sure is definitely Sora's the main character, and it's his story about what's going on. But like to an extent, but like once you get past that, it's just like it starts you start to realize like, oh, this isn't just
when you get in a chain of memories and birth, especially like Birth by Sleep, then you're like, oh wow, there's so much. And then if you play the mobile games, that brings it. Then you're like, oh, this has been going on for years. Like
Sora just happens to be another part of it. I mean,
it's
just a big part of it for sure.
And we always joke about how like every single game that has ever been made for Kingdom Hearts is like a main story game. Like
it's awful.
Like it doesn't matter what platform it was made for. It's not like oh, you don't have to play this. You don't like major stuff happens in every.
Nomura was just like, no, we're gonna make this GBA game that I'm just gonna throw out here because why not have some pretty crazy implications that need to be
Which I mean, it definitely is a very cool in another way. It's a cool way to tell story across multiple platforms and that sort of thing.
How to sell a game 1,000 times.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's
all the collections.
That book's now
which I'm glad for.
That book's now written by Bethesda, my friend.
But yeah,
is that fair enough?
Skyrim's been sold for the 15th time.
I'll buy those games just about every time they come out.
Honestly, same.
It's like, oh, I get to buy this again.
For real though,
like now on this one,
not even gonna lie.
They added this one small feature.
Yeah.
Sick.
I'll buy it. Wield.
Well, what's great about it now too is
I want to play that again.
It's on the computer now, so like everyone's just modding it. Like there's just mods coming out left and right. It's pretty great.
There's some really crazy mods. I know that's a little straying off the Kingdom Hearts talk here, but yeah, there's some that's Skyrim. Yeah, there's some crazy mods. You can get like a whole new that's something that's bigger than the base game. That some like random people just made
Skyrim
in their rooms. Yeah.
I mean, I was talking about Kingdom Hearts mods.
There's Kingdom Hearts mods?
Like, what? Kingdom Hearts on the computer now. People are like modding the crap out of it. That's what I was talking about.
I've never even seen.
You can like play as character. They're like they basically mod it. I've seen mods where you can play
like
as Riku and Kairi and
That's
Mickey.
Cool.
People are doing like Kingdom Hearts 3 graphics and like combat, but doing fights from Kingdom Hearts 1. Like Sora vs Riku, but in the Kingdom Hearts 3 combat and graphics.
So cool.
Yeah, like redoing everything. Like it's.
I've not even looked into.
Go check it out. Like once they literally released like it all on like I think all the complete edition of all of them on the computer. People just immediately started modding.
Oh yeah, because it was Ubisoft, or they were ones.
I don't remember who did it, but
I think you might be right. I mean, it's on the Epic store.
Epic, yeah.
So it's just like
Now I'm like, I'm gonna go home and download.
But you check out, like, look it up on YouTube. You'll see like some of those fights and stuff.
Before you leave, I'll show you some on the TV or something like that.
So, what's y'all's like tell me your Kingdom Hearts origin story. Like,
I guess ours kind of came together, right? Because
you're older, so you start.
Yeah, I'm sure he got it by proxy from watching me play it.
That is where a lot of, I was talking about it right before I started. That's where most of my nostalgia comes from. Is I have so much nostalgia for Kingdom Hearts because I remember specifically sitting and watching you play it.
Yep.
And it's like now and then I remember always trying to play it, but never being able to do it because I was so young. And then going back as an older guy, as an older man or whatever, and playing it again. Like now I'm playing it again. And it's just like,
whoa,
this game is actually like a lot of fun. And like the nostalgia's still there from watching you play it and kind of understanding what was going on.
But now you're playing it.
But now
yourself,
I'm playing it, and I understand all the concepts and how to play the game actually.
I want to say, I think I remember my introduction was back when we were living in Texas. So I was like 12 or 13, and I had a friend that lived down the street that was playing it. And I was like, he was in Aladdin World. I remember him being Aladdin. He was fighting the Cave of whatever.
Cave of Wonders.
Cave of Wonders. And I was like, yo, this is really cool. And he's like, well, I'll let you borrow it whenever it gets done. And it ended up, I think our friendship ended over that because like I like held on to it way longer than I was supposed to, and his mom like had to call my mom and like,
wait a minute,
and be like,
you learned nothing from King.
Wait, is this the same?
That was
Wait, is this the same one? Was this in Texas? We to this day, I don't know where it's at, but to this day, we still have a Kingdom Hearts 2 disc that is not ours because it has someone else's name on it.
It's not 2. That was
it's someone else?
Yeah, that is, no, me and him just traded copies. As
okay,
like,
because
I was
this day
moving away, so we traded our Kingdom Hearts 2 copies as a reminder.
That might have been Pennsylvania, now that I think about it. But like to this day, we still have that copy somewhere.
No, that I remember, yeah. And then whenever she called my mom, and my mom was like, I'll just buy you the game. It's $20. I was like, oh.
I didn't learn anything from this game.
I don't think I was like necessarily like being malicious about it. I think I was just playing it, and I think what it was like he wasn't gonna play it, but his mom just was like wanting it back because didn't want it. And I was like, well, and eventually his mom called me. I was like, hey, your son's had our game for like 6 months, even though her son wasn't playing it anyway. But
and then your mom's like, it's Kingdom Hearts,
basically.
Of course, he has it for 6 months.
And I remember when 2 came out, that was a very big moment for me because I remember like talking about, obviously like talking my parents' ears off for about a month, and then like I remember getting out of school, and like this is back in the days when there was no like, or at least for me, like the internet wasn't as big in my life, so like I didn't have Steam or anything, so like I was having to go to the GameStop to get games, and then the closest GameStop was like 30 minutes from us. Oh, wow. So that was, you didn't just get games like now I just I buy a new game every other week because it's still on Steam. But yeah, I remember like getting out of school that day, and my mom was like, hey, I got something for you. Or I went down to Victoria and got something for you, and I was like, no way. And then like just pulled it out, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like setting alarm clocks like 4 a.m. so I could get up 2 hours before I had to be up for school and play it every day.
Oh my word.
Yeah, it was like, it was intense.
Yeah.
Like I was just,
awesome.
I was min-maxing playing that game.
But yeah, that's pretty much also my first experience with watching Josh play it, and that's where a lot of nostalgia comes from. I didn't really get my into playing it until a little bit later on. I think back in North Carolina, I started playing it again on the PlayStation 2. We still had that, so I was playing it again. Got halfway. So I had beaten one. I've beaten one multiple times now. I beat one, and got like a little over halfway for 2. Stopped playing it for some reason. I don't remember why. I stopped.
I remember you playing it. I don't remember. Yeah.
And then it really didn't come until about when Kingdom Hearts 3 came out again. I've picked up periodically here and there. I've played 1 multiple times now. 1 I've just always was able to pick up and play and just loved.
Yeah.
And then but around Kingdom Hearts 3 started coming out, I think I got Kingdom Hearts 3. I knew the whole story because I watched you play and beat all of them. The main story stuff, 1 and 2. So I ended up playing through 3. Like, blew through it, loved it. And then at this point, I'm still in the process of just going through all the games now. Like, I finally officially beat 2 on my own. Got the Ultimate Weapon in 1.
I never even got Ultimate Weapon in 1, so I never did either.
I'm playing Chain of Memories on the Game Boy. I literally bought Chain of Memories off of Amazon.
Have you beat it?
I'm like 2 worlds from beating it. I think Sora Story.
Sora Story, yeah. That was really cool for me because it was like, whenever I beat Sora Story the first time, I was like, and I wasn't looking anything up. I wasn't doing YouTube and stuff. So like, and then I was like, oh, now you have this new sword. I'm like, wait, I can play as Riku?
Yeah,
excuse me? Like, yeah, that was.
It's like I'm playing that. I'm like literally just about to beat. I'm about to beat Birth by Sleep. I'm about to beat Aqua Story, which is the last one, and then I have the extra thing that they do. And then I'm gonna play through Dream Drop Distance, and then that'll be all of them have beaten, except for the weird I don't remember what it's called, but
the mobile game.
Well, there's 360 365 by 2.
I have.
Is that what it is?
basically beaten that one, but there's another one as well. I've pretty much beaten 3.
There's
2 days. Recoded.
And then there are technically
tapping.
the ones on the phone, the app, are like canon, and it's.
I know. I got to go through them because they actually changed.
There's stuff from that in the 3. Did you know that?
I did.
Yeah.
See, I never.
At the very end.
Did it beat 3? Yeah. Hate
There's
on
stuff
me,
like
but-
from that in 3.
You know they actually stopped the service for that game though, right? For the mobile game.
Did they?
They did. They leave it. They have the app still up for you to go and literally watch all of the cutscenes that they have and go through the story, but you cannot play it anymore like an MMO like they had it.
Huh.
I didn't know that.
I don't know why they stopped the service. I hope it means that they're going to make a cool Unreal Engine Kingdom Hearts MMO game on the computer.
Huh.
I mean, dude, they'd make so.
Yeah,
that would
that
be.
Change.
You haven't beaten Kingdom Hearts 3 yet, but I'm interested to see where they're going to go with the next Kingdom, because there's going to be another Kingdom Hearts. I'm interested to see where they're going to go because some things happen, and I haven't even played the expansion yet that they did, or the DLC.
Yeah, the expansion I think is worth it. The expansion to 3.
But there's some they did broaden it and branched out some interesting things that are like that go back to like Final Fantasy versus 13. Like remember when that was coming out? That was supposed to be Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
It like basically is like they're basically gonna like take what that was and like, bring it into Kingdom Hearts.
What it was gonna be.
Like no joke.
Wait,
Is
Why
what
are
it
they
looks
doing that?
I don't know.
That's the next Kingdom Hearts.
Like that's like the ending of the DLC. Like if you finish it, which I can't because it's like the most insane like really hard.
no
to
joke.
get through all these really hard boss fight. Like the DLC is basically you actually get to see the Final Fantasy characters in Hollow Garden, Hollow Bastion, and
Radiant Garden is the
yeah, Hollow Bastion, Radiant Garden. I've merged the two names.
Hollow Garden.
But you're getting into Sid's computer because like Sora like disappears or whatever.
Spoilers.
And do you care?
No, I'm.
Okay.
I honestly know most of it.
Spoilers for anybody else who's listening. Then
Yeah.
Sora, it
I
has
might
to
not
do
have
with,
beaten it, but I know.
So yeah,
It has to do
Sora
with-
disappears because of what he does at the end,
with
the
waking
game
Kyrie or waking someone.
save Kyrie.
Yeah.
and they don't know where he is, and so you're actually Riku. You're playing as Riku, just in Hollow Bastion, Radiant Garden, in the little house, like in there, like on the computer. When you're in the computer, Sid's computer, you're Sora, and you have to do all these different. It's like the in-game story reason is like, if we have this data of Sora, if we left over from Organization 13, if we get through this stuff, then it might give us some clues about what happened to Sora. But they're just boss fights, but they're really hard. And if you beat all of them, then you go and fight the main character from Final Fantasy Versus 13, and he's like, and you're like in his, but that is, I think, actually in world. That's like actually where Sora is. He's like in that world, and he's. And the Noctis the version of Noctis that's in this game is like he's like doesn't know what's going on. He's like forgotten stuff, and he's like fighting Sora because he's kind of like doesn't know what's happening, and he's like upset or whatever. And then so it kind of like leaves it's like a big cliffhanger with that.
And then they also really at the end of the
And then there's
3 they start branching out of like stuff from the mobile game with
people
what's
with
his name?
masks or
What's
whatever.
the one guy's name?
The Master
The Master of Masters.
Master of Masters.
Okay.
Like people are trying to figure out who he is. Like there's like a lot of theories out now with him. And then you also find out this is a spoiler, but Zigbar from the organization, he is like the Master of Masters apprentice.
Huh.
Right? Am I right on
Yeah,
that?
something like that.
Something like that. Like
it's
he's
as
been
if
part of
he's-
it all along.
It's as if he changed his appearance or something somehow.
Yeah, he's like been a part of it. Well, he like because he's not the nobody anymore. He's his actual person. I can't remember what his actual name is, but
Oh yeah, I don't remember either.
because that's all convoluted and time
Yeah, that's
travel
a
and
whole,
confusing.
yeah.
The 13 Xehanorts and all that good stuff.
There you go.
Yeah, dude, it gets wild. But yeah, so it looks. I actually won't be surprised if like the next Kingdom Hearts deals a lot less with Disney stuff and more Final Fantasy stuff.
Be smart.
Is what I think is where that's where they're gonna start trying to
They
branch it.
should because
But they're also getting that the versus 13 stuff in there.
What I think would be cool too is that they started straying away from the Sora arc and maybe
Yeah,
did
I think they
a different arc.
I think they are.
So that would
Sora is still gonna be like a part of it. Like I think he's gonna be like kind of like
universe,
kind of same universe, and even possible like same like still trying to deal with Sora, find Sora because Sora kind of goes missing at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, and I think it might have something to do with that. But I think you might be playing as a different character.
That'd be cool.
Cool. Well, then of course they released the rhythm game,
which
is
also has a story and is canon.
It's like Kairi going into her memories to figure out like.
I hate it because I don't want to play it. I mean, I do actually.
But it's like mainline story.
It looks cool.
It does actually.
I played it with my kids. Like you can play a demo of it, and it's a decent game.
I think I picked up
but
the
there's
demo
like
and played it,
so many songs.
Yeah.
In there, so I don't know, how hard it is to get through. But...
I'm just waiting for Nomura to bring in some weird canonical story into Smash Brothers for Sora.
Yeah, right. That's where Sora is. He's in Smash Brothers.
Oh my gosh.
and then all of a sudden all the Nintendo characters
no longer
are
just
part
Disney.
of Kingdom
It's no longer
Hearts.
Disney. It's Nintendo now.
I mean, dude, just
Nintendo World's in the next one.
a Super Smash game, but it's all Kingdom Hearts characters.
Dude, real quick, super off topic, but have you seen some of the other like new Smash-esque games they're coming out with? Like the new Nintendo one actually looks pretty fun.
I did see it. I think that is out, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that one's out now. And then they
there's
also
a Cartoon Network one, right?
the Cartoon Network. I think the Cartoon Network one is the one I'm thinking of. Or no, it was Nick. No, it was
Cartoon
Nintendo.
Network?
Yo, they are. They're doing like the DC. It's got like DC people, and yeah, the Cartoon Network one I think is what it is because it's got like Batman and all that from like the animated show. They actually look kind of fun. Not gonna lie.
Cool. Making a Cartoon Network like
Smash Brothers
brawler.
They have a Nintendo one. Not Nintendo. Not. I'm not saying. I mean Nickelodeon is what I'm trying to say. That's the one I'm thinking of. SpongeBob. And then they're also making like a DC universe one.
Weird.
Anyway, back on topic. Sorry for that aside.
What's you guys like? Do you guys have any moments, Kingdom Hearts moments, that are like your favorite moments, or just hit you really in the feels that you can remember?
The ending of Kingdom Hearts 1 is one for me, and the ending of Kingdom Hearts 2. Crap! Like,
when you say the ending, you mean like the end cutscene?
Yeah,
where
with like Sora and Kairi like. He's doing like he's going somewhere and she's going back to the destination and they're like reaching and he's like I'll find you or something like that, and like Sora and like Riku walking with King Mickey in the realm of darkness and all that.
Yeah.
Like that whole actually really just from like Hollow Bastion on, that whole section is just like it hits me in the feels every time.
That series made Mickey like a whole
way cooler.
like
Mickey is the coolest character. Like I can't not love Mickey now because of Kingdom Hearts.
I mean, Mickey is... I don't even know how to describe how cool Mickey is. There's... The DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3 has probably the coolest... Maybe the coolest Mickey moment in the whole Kingdom Hearts
in the DLC.
series. Now, I haven't played I haven't played, like, Dream Drop Distance.
Oh, that's right. You were telling me about this.
But yeah, there's, like, this moment in Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC, because part of what the DLC is you're seeing what's happening with some of the other characters when Sora is fighting Xehanort at the end. You're like playing as different characters in what they're doing, which is like it's just a different fight scene, like boss battles. But there's just a really cool Mickey moment there. But yeah.
Oh, you know another scene is that was very like just something I constantly like always like think of as nostalgia for me. Kingdom Hearts 2 when Mickey shows up for the first time.
Yeah,
because you spend the whole first game searching for him, and then all of a sudden, like you start off Kingdom Hearts 2, you finally get to play Sora again after the thing, and then also just like, oh, it's Mickey, like he's here. Oh my gosh, he's here.
I think playing as Mickey for the first time was pretty crazy. Like because you could.
Oh yeah, when you.
Yeah, I forget how. I think it was in 2, right?
Yeah, something when you go down.
There was a way you could play as Mickey.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And I think that was like whoa, like. Also, the first time I saw the secret cutscene for Kingdom Hearts 1 after you do everything, and like,
oh yeah,
and I didn't realize that. Like, I beat the game and thought I had all the content, and I was like, cool. And then my friend was like, "Have you seen the secret cutscene yet, though?" And I was like, "Huh?"
It's like who?
And then I went, and then he wouldn't just show it to me. He was like,
"What
you
a
need to
good
go
friend!
beat,
What
go,
a good
yeah.
friend!"
He was like, "You need to go unlock it yourself. This is how you do it." So I went and put the time in when I saw it, and then it's like, is it Roxas or Riku?
It's both of them fighting.
Yeah, that's right.
Riku's
that
was blindfolded,
and it's like the coolest animated scene, like way cooler than anything else.
Yeah.
Especially in that age, like that.
Well, and he's got it's like this guy, this mystery person in a cloak, has Oathkeeper and Oblivion.
Yeah,
has
two Keyblades.
You're like Sora, like wait, why does he have Sora's Keyblades? And then you have Riku is blindfolded for some reason, and like running down the side of a building.
And then they did a really cool job with it because there's no like voice. You just have the subtitles.
Yep.
That was really cool.
You just have no idea. That I was just
That is also another scene. Actually, thinking about it too. Another part in the game, Kingdom Hearts 2. The Roxas with you just he pulls out like 2 keyblades and you fight.
Roxas versus Sora?
Roxas versus when you play as Roxas.
When you play that
against Axel.
Axel.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my gosh, I'm
cool.
using 2 keyblades. Like.
Yeah, Roxas in that fight was pretty OP too. Like I remember when he got the 2 keyblades.
Speaking of the Roxas versus Sora fight, though, screw that fight.
That's a fun fight.
The fight. I think the original Kingdom Hearts 2 didn't have that fight. It was
Yeah,
just
it's
a
Final
cutscene.
Mix.
It was Final Mix adds the fight, and it is.
You watch
hard.
the fight, I think, in a cutscene.
You do.
That's right.
It is hard in the.
I don't think I ever beat that.
It is so hard. I had to because you have to beat it to get to progress, and it took me a while.
You have to beat it to progress. I thought it was at the end of the game.
It is, but in order to finish to get to
to do the end game stuff,
Xemnas fight, yeah.
Oh, really?
The end to do all that.
I can't even remember.
Because in the original, you just had the cutscene and they do their thing, which that scene's heartbreaking as well.
Yeah.
But then you have, but in the Final Mix, you actually have to fight them, and it's a hard boss fight.
The Xemnas fight at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2 was so friggin' epic. Mm-hmm. Like the way they used the, I forget what you call it, the reaction command.
Yes.
Yeah, the way they used that in the fight, in the course of the fight, made you feel so epic, and the fact that you're like fighting alongside Riku.
Yeah. That's what. Yeah.
That
it feels
just...
like a cutscene. Like you're playing the game, but it felt actually that was I think most of Kingdom Hearts 2 that was the first time, especially with that reactionary command. You're just like you feel like you're not even, like you don't even feel like you're playing the game in a way, but you know you are.
Right. And it's still difficult. Like it's not like easy, but
it looks so cool.
Yeah, that was really cool. I feel like the first Kingdom Hearts game just had so many moments that were just gut wrenching because of the whole dynamic between Sora and Riku, and like they're both trying to find Kairi, kinda. But Sora's like, he's trying to save Kairi, and at the same time, he sees that he's like kind of losing his best friend. Like Riku is kind of falling to the darkness, and it's like this very helpless feeling that Sora has, that then you have as a character because you're like, no, I don't want this to happen. And
my friends are my power.
And there's just like those moments when I feel like in the was it the Pinocchio world, Monstro, that was like when there was like a tipping point for the like Riku Sora relationship.
He found Kairi at that point, right? Or didn't he have her?
I feel like he had her,
and he also
in the cage, and Sora's like, okay, perfect, we're good,
right.
And then
and then he's got the weird. That's what I think maybe the first time where you see him in the weird,
the heartless,
and he's also he's like stealing Pinocchio, which like threw Sora off because he's like Pinocchio's like a good what are you doing?
Yeah,
like he was
Yeah, that was like really hard, and that whole world too was really difficult.
World. Yeah,
like just hard to figure out where you are, where you're at, and where you need to get.
I remember just going around in circles. Yeah, I'm just like, where am I?
Exactly, because everything looks so similar. And then you're like, I can't fight. Like every time you go back, it's like the enemies respawn. It's like, no, I can't fight you right now. I have to figure out where I'm at.
Going through that world trying to get the materials for Ultimate Weapon was awful. Yeah. So I was like, gosh, what level? What map is this? What level am I on?
I feel like too, a lot of games back then were all very linear. Most games were very linear. So then you get a game like that, or at least the games I was playing were linear. So then I played a game like that, and I'm just like,
which is still a linear game, but like it gave you that also non-linear.
That world was felt very non-linear because you didn't know where the line was. You're like, where's the line?
Gosh, you want a gut-wrenching story though? Go play Birth by Sleep. That whole storyline with those 3 characters is like, because now at this point, I have played the ending, that whole end scene twice now with 2 different characters, and each time I'm just like, I get to deal with the gut-wrenchingness of this whole scene again. Because that was the other secret ending of Kingdom Hearts 2 was seeing that last battle with
the Birth by Sleep.
Aqua, Terra, and Ventus.
Which that to me
was.
I don't think any game could ever not Birth by Sleep, but that got me you hyped for the Kingdom Hearts 3. You're like, oh, there's gonna be like a Keyblade or like what is this?
That was really the first introduction to Keyblade War, wasn't it?
That
kind of the Keyblade Graveyard?
I think they talked about it, but
that was the first time you really like saw like the Keyblade graveyard with like just like thousands of thousands of Keyblades.
That was
oh my gosh,
like
it's
a
not
huge
just
world
Sora.
building.
Yeah, it's not just Sora.
Sora isn't just because you play the first game, you're like, oh, Sora's got a Keyblade, that's it. But
I think
it's
you
like,
could see some of the key. I think you could see there were Keyblades, and maybe it was just Easter eggs, but there were Keyblades that you used in the other games that were like people would spot. I remember
that is cool.
I would get on that website. I would get on it. There's like some Kingdom Hearts fan websites back then where people would just like pick apart that thing, and I would just like read stuff for hours, theories and stuff. But yeah.
Favorite Keyblade?
Ooh.
Oh, that's hard.
I mean,
what are you doing to me, my man?
I already know mine's Oblivion.
I think mine's Oathkeeper.
Oathkeeper's a close second.
Because
the two Joshes in there.
Yeah.
Josh Prime and
It's
Julie.
generic, I know. It's generic, but...
Oh, what is mine?
I mean, I just love in Kingdom Hearts 2 how you can dual wield Oblivion and Oathkeeper.
Yep.
In your forms.
I'm actually a big fan of Terra's Keyblade.
Okay.
I don't know if I'd say it's my favorite. As far as my Keyblades go, I fall on I like the heavier Keyblades, like the bigger, heavy, like more Greatsword-esque Keyblades. That's why I like Terra's Keyblade.
Okay.
So
I liked Cloud's. There was I think Cloud had a Keyblade you got from him in the first game.
Yes.
And that one was cool because it was like
Chocobo
it was
or
kind of
something.
Like
I think
it's called Chocobo, but it like looked kind of like a Buster Sword.
Mm-hmm. I like that one. But what?
It had good reach, really good reach.
Yeah, for right now, I'd probably just say Terra's. It's not like just as far as like looks and like my.
And I like the way Mickey's looks. I think Riku's looks really cool.
Mickey's is cool. Riku's Dark Keyblade is really
Riku's
cool.
Dark Keyblade is like.
Axel's got an interesting Keyblade too. Lee is his name, I think, when he's not.
In Kingdom Hearts 3, he has a Keyblade. Yeah, everybody gets a Keyblade.
What else?
Gosh,
I know there's another. Once we finish this, I'll end up thinking of the other one. There's another one that I really like. Is thinking about it, but definitely the heavier ones were always my favorite. They're the ones that like definitely emphasize strength.
Okay.
I'm also just I like giant swords, so.
I remember like playing so much of 2 just because there was a rumor going around our school or with the people that played it that if you got to max level that you unlocked the ability to dual wield all the time. And not just in your forms, which was not the case. But me being 13, 14, however old I was just like, dude, I need that. What are you showing me?
I didn't know they listened.
Huh?
I didn't know they listened.
They didn't. They listened for the first time.
I think I came down here. I was like, "Yeah, I've heard."
I listened to it, and then Dad texted. He said that the dad texted me today. Goes, "Oh yeah, listen to your podcast. Sounds good, or it's awesome, or something like that." Mom sent me this now. Shout out to Mom and Dad again.
More Wheel of Time episodes. We'll get them listened.
That would be so funny.
Those games are crazy. So I don't know.
What's your introduction to Kingdom Hearts?
So mine was, and it's nostalgia too. So my family, my family's from Arkansas, but we didn't live in Arkansas most of my life, so we'd always be going back to Arkansas for like summer, like a week or two in summer, and then in Christmas too. And so we'd always be in Arkansas for Christmas, and I had a younger cousin who we would just play video games like whenever I would be there. And I think one Christmas he had Kingdom Hearts, and he had a PlayStation. I didn't have a PlayStation at the time, I don't think. And we started playing it together, and we got pretty far into it before I had to leave to go back to I don't even know, Florida. It would have been Florida at that point. And at that point I was just like completely hooked, and I think I got a hold of a PS2 and played through the rest of the game, and then it was just, in fact, I think actually now that I think about it, I feel like I remember endgame stuff happening in Arkansas, so we might have straight up
Oh wow, you guys straight up
in Arkansas
went in on it.
I think we did. I think we literally did. We would play like late into the night, and then we'd play it anytime we could, and apparently eventually like my grandparents or my mom would be like, "You guys need to go do something else. Go play outside."
Yeah, we had that.
We've definitely had that.
We had time limits imposed.
We literally talked about yesterday how we played Poker with Dad, and we bet money to play on the Xbox.
We bet time.
I meant time.
Each poker chip was like a certain
amount of minutes till you could do. And Dad just gave himself like an hour just to do it, just so he could like bet in with us. And
that's hilarious.
So Dad was just gambling real early.
Thanks, Dad.
That's amazing.
Yeah, sometimes I think back to Kingdom Hearts. I'm like when I want to play it, I'm like, or what, like if I haven't played in a while, I think about it, I was like, is that game just like, do I just enjoy it because of the nostalgia?
Right.
And then I go play it, I'm like, no, it's a good game. It's just actually a good game.
It is, yeah. And I mean, 1 and 2 are just very tight games too, story wise. I think just there's just the you're just so you get they do it does such a good job of investing you in the main 3 people, the relationship, and you just want to see it how things pan out. And you know, I mean, Kingdom Hearts 2 does a real good job too with that, but
at the same time having plenty of side stories that are happening. Every world you're going to, you're helping out someone different, but it also helps with the main goal at the same time too.
Because it's all, once again, about friendship. I mean, Sora's going around making friends with these other people.
Yeah.
And like, and come on, we can't talk about Kingdom Hearts without talking about the 2 best companions of any game ever, and that's Donald and Goofy.
Yeah.
Like,
big homies.
Oh man.
I never thought I would just sit there and be like, I love playing a fighting game with Donald and Goofy at my side.
Yeah, that's the other, like, you know, you got Mickey, that it makes Mickey so much cooler, but Donald and Goofy are just like
Donald in a mage outfit, wearing a mage hat, and like Final Fantasy
Donald
mage
is like
outfit,
the most powerful wizard in the multiverse, you know, like
Goofy is like still Goofy, but he's like
Goofy's
like
Captain
a shield
America.
warrior. Like
that was really cool of me, just the shield being his main. I always thought that was super cool for some reason. Like, no one, that's not a normal trope for any characters to use a shield as your main weapon.
Yeah. Well, is it, and you know, they're your support. You know, they're kind of like they're the way they're, at least in general. I think there's like a meme about Donald
not healing
not
him
healing you.
because he's constantly out of.
It's like you're running around. Heal me! Come on! He's like heals himself.
Or he's just constantly at MP for doing lightning every 5 seconds.
Yeah, he's just like passed out, like stars going around his head. It's like, oh my god!
I have to heal him.
The fight just started.
It's literally like comes down to like I have to heal him so that he can heal me in like 5 minutes. Speaking of scenes that are heart wrenching, the scene in Kingdom Hearts 2, about halfway through the War of 1,000 Heartless, just like that. And the rock boulder comes down and Goofy pushes Mickey out of the way and it hits him in the head and like everyone thinks he's dead. And like Mickey and Sora and or Donald are like just straight up like, all right, like Mickey like gets pissed and like just, and that's, you have that whole scene of running with just Sora and you go to the different sections.
Was that when you fought as Mickey?
No. You still fight as Sora, but you go to each different section. You don't have Donald with you or Goofy because Goofy's dead.
Yeah. This is Radiant Garden, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is during the Thousand Heartless War battle, Thousand Heartless battle. And you go to like each section and like Leon will fight with you, then Cloud fights with you, and then you know, and like, but you're just like running train. You just know Mickey's also running train, and then you have this section of like just going ham on 1,000 Heartless, and then like you
feel really powerful during that fight.
And but you feel like for a split second, like you legitimately feel like Goofy's dead, and then like I think like literally like the next scene is like before even all that, like you know that he's awake, but like still like that was just such a cool heart wrenching scene for a minute there, and then like also just seeing like Mickey, just like that's like the first time you see Mickey, he's just like it's coming down, it's going down.
Donald has a moment in Kingdom Hearts 3, like where he does a
does a crazy magic spell, right?
Yeah, it's like
that's at the end.
It's like you know, it's in the final boss fight, and it's just like a friggin' like tornado of Heartless that you're fighting. Literally, it's insane. And Donald does Goofy's like, Donald, no! And then Donald does this spell that's just like the craziest spell you've ever seen in Kingdom Hearts. And it like almost kills him or something. Like you think, is he gonna die here? Because Goofy's like telling him not to do it. And I think that's anyway.
Good games.
Donald and Goofy.
Yeah.
If you haven't played them, and you listen to this makes you think you may want to do it. It's a fun game.
Highly recommend.
If you like Disney or if you like Final Fantasy,
that's a good thing.
Those are. It's just does a really
There's
good
also
job.
Like all different kinds have different kinds of combat and gameplay. So I mean, don't necessarily have to. I mean,
if you like
recommended to play them.
If you like gummy ships, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of different gameplay.
And then it's just like what's cool about it too is like for like the older people with like kids. Like I know Josh, like you can play that in front of Ellie, and it's not like a M-rated game.
Yeah.
It's a wholesome game. There's not like cussing. There's not sex scenes. There's not like this crazy whatever going on. It's just a good boy searching for his friends.
Yeah. but still has like deeply rooted like thought processes and ideas.
Very much so.
as
Very
well.
much so.
Yeah, definitely.
That's where I get my morals from. No.
Well, I mean,
But
some of them probably.
I mean, go back.
What would Sora do at this moment?
Well,
sometimes. Working.
What else? What else needs to be said about Kingdom Hearts?
Just play it. Give it a play, or watch a playthrough of it. I'm sure there's some.
dude, you can literally just watch. You can watch them on YouTube.
Yeah.
People have basically turned them into movies, where mixing in gameplay / mostly cutscenes, and they put like the gameplay that's necessary for you to understand like the story. But yeah, I mean, there's some really good. Like, I think one of my close friends, his girlfriend only knows the story through watching these YouTube videos. And it's like 12. I think it's like 12 to 15 hours worth of YouTube videos to watch, but like
the game itself is fun, so I'd highly recommend it.
Yeah, it is, but also the story is just really good.
But yeah, if you just like the story,
there's also a manga
just go
for just. I think it's just Kingdom Hearts 1.
I think they have 2 as well.
Do they have 2 too?
Or at least part of it, or
Chain of
Memories. They have
Chain
Chain
of
of
Memories.
Memories. I don't know if they have 2 or not, but yeah,
those are really good.
That would be a good way to probably.
I wish they would do more.
Get the story.
They would do that.
If you're just interested in it, and then that might hit you even harder.
And then don't even forget too. They have the whole mobile game, which has got a whole lot of story to it. That is now you can just go watch cutscenes of. Pretty much. I mean, it's like a lot of it's reading because it's on the phone and all that. But
yeah,
it's got some crazy story to it.
Actually, that's like the one part of Kingdom Hearts I don't know about.
I also don't know anything about it.
I haven't really looked that far. I did play the mobile game a little bit, but I
also don't know much about it. So.
I've seen a few things about it, and it's just like, it's like Tetsuya Nomura's brain. Like,
it gets a little too deep.
Yeah, it's like oh my gosh, like this. It goes so much more into like that's the further Kingdom Hearts goes. It's like you're like all constantly having to recontextualize things because you're like, wait, so that when that happened, he was here, and that was and they started here, and
yep, that's
what and that's like what the whole thing of that it seems like is.
I've always been interested. Do you think the whole story was fleshed out before the first game, or did the first game pop off and they're like, oh crap, let's write more, and then they started putting in all these backstories?
I actually remember when 3 came out, Ian was showing me something about when Kingdom Hearts was originally announced, the original trailer, Kingdom Hearts 1. There was stuff in it that is not in the original game, but alludes to things that happen in Kingdom Hearts 3.
See, that's impressive. If
I remember this correctly,
Ian,
I don't think you listen to this, but if you do, I'll text you either way about it.
Me.
Fact check me. I want to know, but I swear I remember like the original 2001 like trailer that's like it was like showing things about or saying things that are like alluded to in 3 or talked about in 3, and like he was showing because Ian he gets and like Ian would have been great to have on this podcast actually. Because he's also a major Kingdom Hearts fan. He actually is what got me back into Kingdom Hearts. He's what got me back into Kingdom Hearts with Kingdom Hearts 3. He bought that for my birthday.
Well, there you go.
He bought. Shout out to Ian, for buying me Kingdom Hearts 3. But yeah, so I'm pretty sure like that was so. Whether or not that he did think this all ahead, part of me thinks he didn't.
I think maybe he had like, I think 1, 2, and 3. I think he probably had the kind of overarching, like broad kind of idea, like the stuff with Xehanort and Ansem and all that stuff. He must have had some idea of that because Kingdom Hearts 2 alludes to a lot of somewhat of the convoluted nature
time
of
travel. Like when did right? Was that like?
I think, but I think like the side games are where it kind of branched out and got bigger. It's like where he's like, what if we did a game where we focused on Roxas and and then that kind of branched things out, and then you had, what if we made a game for these characters from the for the Birth by Sleep or whatever, and then it just kept kind of branching out because he wasn't making Kingdom Hearts 3. Like if he had made Kingdom Hearts 3 right after Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts would be so much smaller compared to what it is.
Can we just take a moment and just laugh at the fact that Tetsuya Nomura was like, let's make 1 Chain of Memories, we'll make 2, and then we'll just go ape crap with just like random time travel and side games on different consoles, like handheld consoles, like what Birth by Sleep which had, or not a Birth by Sleep, Dream Drop Distance, which had a lot of the time travel introduced a lot into it, was on a 3DS.
Yeah, like
the audacity of this man to be like, let's just throw in this insane.
Yeah.
Let's just throw
but not initially.
It wasn't initially.
We had Birth by Sleep was PSP initially,
right?
So like it was like,
and then Dream Drop Distance was 3DS.
You can buy them all on PS4 now, right? Like you could get the whole collection of everything
and PC.
Okay.
And
I'm not gonna go buy them on PC.
But just like the audacity to like initially release these games of like, here's insane story things that have happened that if you go and play episode or the third game, you have no clue what's going on, but it's on a completely different console, and it's gonna bring in time travel and some other whack crap.
Yeah,
the audacity of this man. I love it.
Just like Roxas, like his whole, like Roxas, Ventus, Sora, that whole thing.
Poor Roxas.
where they're all technically like the same person.
Yeah, they're like connected.
Ventus and Roxas, man, they have some
the friggin' like Tetsuya Nomura is so meta that he like what's the at the very beginning of Kingdom Hearts 1 when like was it Kairi that looks up and sees like a shooting star, and that's like some character, isn't it like Roxas?
That was Sora.
Yeah, I think that was like, Sora.
What? And like
these games,
shooting stars,
gosh, that's
characters.
Right. Even the initial like opening cutscene in Kingdom Hearts 1 is already kind of like, what's happening?
Yeah,
it's like, wait, he's falling.
But also super cool.
It was super.
Oh yeah, actually, you play the games just for the opening cutscenes. Opening cutscenes. I used to make new files just to watch that.
Them. Everyone just go watch all 3 opening cutscenes to each of the games because the music is super great. What's Hikari Utada?
Yeah,
Utada.
Yeah.
She does all the great music. I feel like some of the electronic Skrillex did
the third one, right?
with Hikari Utada.
My daughter, at one point when I was playing through Kingdom Hearts 3, she got so into it that like we have an Amazon Echo in the room. She would literally fall asleep listening to Kingdom Hearts music.
That's beautiful.
Like I studied the Kingdom Hearts music, or like
it's
do
good
like
stuff.
homework to it.
It's really good.
You know who has not played Kingdom Hearts?
Who?
Steph.
Yes, but I don't know if I don't. That's no. Someone even more surprised that she hasn't. Well, not really, I guess.
Who?
Jenna,
our sister.
Our sister has not played Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, we gotta get her on that. I don't know. That might be hard.
She might need it.
It's time.
It's time.
The time has come.
She doesn't game like that. As
she's
far
ready.
As I know, but
that would be awesome.
I would love for Steph to play it, but I think she's too hung up on Disney. The fact that Disney's in it, I really think she is.
Can't get past that.
You should. Josh made a comment about Mickey, and she's in the back. She's like, she's like, what?
This isn't. I mean, it's not. It's not like corporate. Like it doesn't feel that. At least it doesn't feel that way. It feels very like they gave Tetsuya Nomura a lot of, license to make it a Kingdom Hearts
until it came to the Frozen World
story. Oh, the Frozen World. I don't know. You said there was something about that was.
Go watch. There's a game theory. Like the guy who does the game theory, film theory stuff. He's got an interesting theory about the Frozen World. Go give it a look. Go give it a watch. It's actually really interesting.
Yeah, we should watch
Kingdom Hearts 3. I can watch it before you leave if you want. It's like really interesting about like he thinks, and there's a lot of evidence to back it up that it like the story that we have in Kingdom Hearts 3 was not originally what was intended, because Kingdom Hearts 3 was being made for a while, and I think the Frozen World was being built before the movie came out, and they had a completely different story where Elsa was like gonna be the main boss because she was dealing with her inner darkness, and then Sora was gonna save her in that way, but the Disney overlords were like, Frozen came out, every little kids loved it, it was so popular, like you can't make Elsa bad. I'll show you the video. It's actually really interesting.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
I think that about wraps up for tonight, right, guys?
Yeah.
It's been a fun episode. Juwu. Shout out to Juwu.
Thanks for having me. Seriously.
Thanks for coming on. We'll definitely next time you come down or whatever, we'll have you on again, man. It's glad to have it's fun to have you on.
Talking about nerd stuff.
Oh yeah, we'll plan a little bit better too next time and have like something
Yeah, this was definitely very spur of the moment, right? Like,
yeah.
Sure.
I texted him Sunday, thinking you were coming Monday. Found out you weren't coming Monday, and then he was like, "How about Wednesday? It's the only other day we can do it this week." And I was like, "Let's do it." Maybe next time you come down, we'll be talking about your thoughts on the Stormlight Archive.
Oh yeah, pressure.
The what?
The book we were literally.
Oh right.
Well, Well, the book's called The Way of Kings, so
The Way of Kings is
Okay,
the first
The Way
one.
of
Maybe we'll be
Kings,
talking
yeah.
about what you think of that. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'll have it. Actually, that'll be a good plan. I'll definitely have that book finished, the first one at least,
Sweet.
before I get back.
All right. Well, this is a Bridge of Two.
Two.
Far away bridge.
That's my song.
Here comes your song. Shout out to Juwu. Shout out to Juwu. Shout out to Juwu.
Hashtag Juwu.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Juwu.
Shout
Shout out to Juwu.
What's up?